Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well today. So in the interest of being fully transparent and honest with you guys, I do have exposure to this NFT project. I minted and I also bought a few off the secondary market. Also, I'm really close with the founder, and so when he reached out to me to publish this video, without hesitation I said yes. And the cat is super sharp, he's very hardworking, and he's one of those guys that never gives up. He's taken a few big hits, and each time he takes a hit, he comes back even stronger. It's something I really admire about the guy, and I think people like that inevitably are going to be super successful. But I probably should stop complimenting the dude in case his wife is watching the video. She might start to get a little jealous. Anyhow, this NFT project that he launched, based off the exclusive information that he gave me, leads me to believe that the project has a lot of potential. And I'll explain in this video why I think it could be potentially bear-proof and how the investment could probably pay itself off within the month. And if you're a fan of passive income, you're interested in purchasing NFTs, metaverse assets, GameFi assets that have the potential to produce a yield in the future, definitely pause the video, give my channel a subscribe, make sure you turn on that notification bell, because all of those themes are the focus of my channel. Now, with the intro out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Alright, to get this video started, let me give you guys a brief introduction to the project. Now, their demo and website should be out soon. I believe the demo should be out within the week, and after some time we should also see the website. But basically, users are going to be able to wager a bet playing a dice game on a web user interface. They have a total supply of 888. The mint cost was only 1 SOL. It sold out within seconds, and currently on Magic Eden the floor is 11.5 after hitting a high of 14. And in the next segment of the video I'll explain why there's a lot of enthusiasm behind a project like this. But for now, let's take a look at what you get for being a dice holder. If you read here, it says other games are currently in development that will benefit holders of only dice, limited to 888 NFTs. Hold your dice. And the reason I wanted to highlight that is because if you look at the fee share model here, it's very generous. You're looking at 2.5% going to the holders of these NFTs, and the rest going towards compensating team members and funding further development. And if you really think about it, you're essentially owning a piece of a casino. Instead of just getting equity, you're also getting revenue share. And you don't have to wait long to get it. These rewards could be potentially disseminated on a daily basis, so holders of the NFT can immediately start benefiting. Like I said, the cat's pretty sharp, so he's always coming up with creative ideas. One creative idea that he came up with was to give anybody who loses 12 times in a row the jackpot. Another option would be to give the winnings to whoever accumulates 100 SOL in lifetime worth of losses. And with only dice, you can select from the following bets, anywhere from 0.05 all the way to 1 SOL. Now, what really got me excited was his growth strategy. Me and him are very transparent with one another. Like, if he has an idea that I don't like or I have an idea that he doesn't like, we're not scared to voice our opinions. And in the past, I've told him to his face if a certain idea didn't resonate with me, but the idea that he had to grow this project exponentially, I thought was brilliant, but unfortunately I can't give you the details. The NFT gambling space on Solana is very competitive, and I think if he moves quickly and decisively with his strategy, the sky's the limit with this project. Now, even though I'm super optimistic and I'm really excited for things to work out for my friend, I have to acknowledge that this is still a very risky project to invest in. And if you watched the video until the very end, I'll make sure to highlight a few of the risks. Now that I've given you a brief introduction to the project, let's take a look at the profit potential. So what popularized this gambling mania on Solana was this NFT project called Degen CoinFlip. They've flipped over 77,000 SOL, which is equivalent to $13 million. And based on the volume that they've gotten the last 20 hours, they've distributed 0.2378 SOL to each NFT holder. And if you look at the game, it's pretty simple. You basically put your wager amount in, select heads or tails, an algo will run, and if you select the same thing that the algo has selected, you'll basically double your wager. Now, if you take a look at the floor price of only dice, if we assume that they're able to generate the same amount of volume and you're getting 0.2 SOL a day for every dice that you hold, and you end up paying, let's say, 11.5 for it. So 11.54 divided by 0.2 is about 2 months. Now, I know in the intro I said about a month, but at that time when I recorded the first segment of the video, the price was approximately 6 SOL. Now, one thing you guys have to understand is that they're going to be competing for volume. So just because the other project is returning about 0.2 SOL a day doesn't mean that this project will replicate those results. But based on the strategy that the founder laid out, if he's successfully able to deliver and execute on that, I think there's potential for him to generate even more volume. So if you guys decide to get exposure, basically what you're betting on is the team's ability to execute, deliver, and compete. Because inevitably they're going to see a lot of competitors. In terms of development, it's a low-hanging fruit. It won't take much time for a motivated team to close the gap. But the nice thing about being this early is that there's a huge addressable market that's virtually untapped, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know about these games. And since we're early into this hype cycle, I think we still have some runtime before things really get saturated. So I still think it's worth our time to explore the gambling space, because if you end up picking up one of these projects that endure long term, you could potentially make the investment of a lifetime. Because gambling isn't something that is seasonal, it's all year round. Like I've stated in past videos, which I suggest you watch, I made a past video on NFT utility, where I forecasted here in Q1, most investors weren't going to chase after the same PFP projects they chased in the past. They're going to chase NFTs with utility. Specifically, they're going to go after NFTs that provide passive income. I mean, as it stands today, CoinFlip is giving their users about 0.2 SOL a day. Now imagine what only DICE could do with multiple games in the future with a larger user base. At a minimum, I think you should at least commit some time to doing your own research and due diligence on the project. Now, even though I've invested in the project, I have an optimistic outlook, I still wanted to provide a balanced view and highlight some of the risk. Now, the reason why many people are excited about these gambling NFT projects, aside from the passive income that you're earning, is the fact that DGen CoinFlip has a floor of 63 SOL. Currently, there's only 7 NFTs available to buy on the secondary market, so investors who are priced out are eagerly looking for alternatives. And so you're going to see a lot of competition. And like I said, from a development standpoint, this is a low-hanging fruit. It won't take too much from other motivated teams to quickly bring a product to market. So that would be risk number 1. Risk number 2 is market saturation. Now, I forecasted around mid-December that we're inevitably going to have another NFT mania on Solana, and that's exactly what you're seeing right now. So there's a lot of capital circulating out there that's looking for opportunities. But at some point, we're going to reach market saturation. Too little money chasing too many projects. And so the question is, what happens to all the NFTs in that setting? Even quality NFTs that are generating people passive income. Now, the next risk I'd like to highlight is market contraction. What happens in the setting of a broader market pullback? Because it's inevitably going to come. Now, it may seem like I contradicted the statement that I made in the earlier segment where I said NFTs with utility that are generating their holders passive income could be bear proof. But I'm actually not contradicting that, because I don't have 100% conviction that that's going to be the outcome. It could very well go the other way, where the NFT collections, generally speaking, follow the broader market down. Lastly, we have regulations. I'm confident that the regulators aren't going to be happy with something like this. I'm not sure how this is going to be enforceable because there are just too many people doing it, but I promise you that the regulators definitely are not going to be happy about this. Now, that's especially important if you plan to be a long-term investor. So with that, I hope you guys got a balanced view, because ultimately I want you guys to make an informed decision about this, because it's ultimately up to you guys if you guys want to take the gamble and roll the dice. Now, for those of you guys that have been watching the video until this point, I wanted to reward you guys with a whitelist. I'm also starting an NFT project that's going to be launching on Avalanche. Basically, what we plan to do is pool capital that we collect from the mint, deploy that capital across DeFi protocols, and use the yield generated to secure metaverse assets, GameFi assets, and the focus is going to be purchasing assets that have the potential to give us passive income in the future. And once we establish sustainable income from these passive income sources, at regular intervals, we're going to disseminate some of the yield to NFT holders. So if you think that's intriguing or you're interested in learning more, I'll include links to the Samurai Monkey Discord and the Twitter profile in the description below. With that, I hope you enjoyed today's content. This is CryptoOneStop signing out. I'll talk to you folks next time. Bye.